Hey guys, we are back.
Therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic
Welcome,
shoes
welcome.
with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry, apologize for the long break. I was just taking care of some technical things I was having, so I apologize for that. But thanks for bearing with me. So let me get back on track here with what I was talking about prior to my technical mishap. I lost the YouTube feed. I had to fix that, and that's what I was doing. So I'm sorry, guys. But we're back on YouTube. Those of you that watch on YouTube. All right, so now let's get to Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, I was talking about this on my podcast last night. If I were to make a list of my favorite MAGA people, obviously number one is the greatest president of all time, Donald Trump. That's number one, without question. Number two is the great governor of Florida, who will be the second MAGA president in 2028, Ron DeSantis. And number three is Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon's number three. And after three, we've got great people like Don Jr., Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, and a lot of other great people. But my list of the top MAGA people that I love and support: 1, President Trump; 2, Governor Ron DeSantis; 3, Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon is an amazing, and brilliant man. And he did something that was one of the greatest moments in presidential campaign history. And it's almost a forgotten moment because the media will never go back and look at it because it makes Democrats look like what they are, lowlives. Remember when there was that one debate back in 2015 with Trump and Hillary, and Steve Bannon organized that press conference right before with Paula Jones, Juanita Broderick, Kathleen Willey, Bill Clinton's victims, and then there was a fourth woman who, when she was a little girl, she was raped by 2 adult men, and Hillary Clinton, who was in private practice, volunteered to defend the rapist. She defended the rapist and went to court and treated this girl, who was about 13 at the time, as some little Lolita seductress, and she was violently raped by this man. And Steve Bannon set that up. We'd heard about this case with Hillary and this girl for a long time, but we had never seen a face put to it. And Steve Bannon set that up and had that press conference with Donald Trump right before the debate with Hillary Clinton. And I remember watching, it was so exciting. Paula Jones was in her tracksuit, and she went off. She went off on the Clintons. It was amazing. And Bannon, I saw Bannon, Steve Bannon was standing off to the side. His hair, of course, was messed up, but he was wearing a jacket, and he was leaning up against the wall, and he was smiling ear to ear. It was probably one of his proudest moments of his life. And he is an amazing man. So that's my thoughts on Bannon. I welcome yours. Now, he has defied this subpoena with the January 6th committee. Now, I don't think he's going to get away with that. What's going to happen tomorrow, the committee has recommended going after him, so the entire House is going to vote on this tomorrow. And then what will happen, this contempt of Congress charge, it's gone from the committee. Tomorrow there'll be a House vote, and he will be held in contempt of Congress. Many Republicans are going to join them on this. Then after he's held in contempt of Congress in the House vote, they send it to Merrick Garland at the Department of Justice, who believes parents are domestic terrorists at school board meetings, and the Department of Justice will decide how to proceed. I'm expecting Steve Bannon to be arrested and forced to go in front of the committee and testify. My guess would be that if that happens, and I think it's likely to happen, he'll take the fifth. You're not going to hear anything from him other than the fifth. And that's a smart move for Steve Bannon to take, and I support it, and let it happen. Let them drag him in there in cuffs by federal marshals, sit him down, surround him by federal agents, and they can ask their questions and he can take the fifth. And when he does, you're going to see some ticked off House members. They're going to go nuts, especially Liz Cheney. They're going to tell him everything in the book that he can't do it. He's not allowed, or they'll come up with something. But he's going to do it. Now, what they're going to try to do, I watched Liz Cheney yesterday. I am not playing any audio clips of Liz Cheney. I cannot stand Liz Cheney. I heard her say it once. I don't need to hear it again. I don't want to hear her voice again. And I don't want to pollute your eardrums with Liz Cheney either. Now, what they want to do is they're trying to do a guilt by association. A guilt by association. What they want to do with Bannon is blame him for the riot, the insurrection as they call it, even though no one's been charged of insurrection. And even some of the high-profile people have already pled and guilty and have been convicted and have convictions and are doing time. Some of them, no one charged with insurrection, no one convicted of insurrection. No, you cannot have an insurrection without insurrectionists, but this is the insurrectionist insurrection, apparently. What they're going to try to do, there certainly was an organized event in the Washington Mall of Donald Trump supporters, MAGA people. Every day of the week, 365 days a year, there are activists and organizations that have protest in the Washington Mall. Have any of you ever gone to Washington, D.C.? And you go through the mall, that's what you see, especially when you're in front of Congress. What they're going to try to do is connect him with organizing that event and say, boom, those people went into the Capitol, therefore you organize this. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're trying to do. They've already decided what the conclusion of the committee will be. And that's that. They're going to use tweets. They're going to have sound bites from the war room. They're going to have all kinds of things they're going to throw up there. And he will take the fifth. I don't know if he'll go to jail. I don't have a recollection of someone in a high-profile situation refusing to testify and being compelled like this to testify as he's going to be. I've never seen something like this happen. If it's happened, and I'm sure it has, please remind me, because I don't have a recollection of someone completely refusing to testify and then being hauled in and forced to do it. I just don't have any memory of anything like that happening since I've been following such things. Maybe some of you do. I guess I could research it and find out, but I'm not, I'm more interested. This is going to be unique. Not like this. There has not been something like this. Not someone as high profile. And see, the left, they're ticked off that he got that pardon, too, from President Trump. So they want to get him in jail. And I'll say, shame on the press. The press. Every video and still photograph they're showing of Bannon during this, he looks terrible, right? He looks like hell. That's because they're using, and they're doing this on purpose to make him look like a creep. They're using video and photos that were taken of him when he got out of jail. He was arrested, And when he walked out of jail, he took his mask off. That's the photo they're using. That's the video they're using because that's the worst images they have of him, and they want him to look terrible. Okay? But this is going to be very dramatic. And you know what? Trump always wins because he did nothing wrong. This is a kangaroo congressional committee. They're not interested in getting to the bottom of what happened at the breach. They're looking everywhere else but where the real responsibilities are. And they're fishing. They're fishing. Just because somebody that went into the Capitol went to an event that Steve Bannon may have organized in the Washington Mall that day does not mean he's responsible for the breach. But that's what they're going to do. And if they can nail him with it, yeah.
But that's a lot of the stuff that he's been talking about is going to be brought up in his committee.
No, well, what they want to do, you know, congressional committees are not interested in answers. They answer themselves in the questions. So they're going to ask very leading questions of Bannon that are really the statements that they want to make. The questions are really going to be statements that the congressmen make. If he takes the fifth, I think they'll flip out. Do you think he's going to get arrested and hauled in front of the committee?
Yeah, I think so. Here's the deal: if you got to ask yourself, if this was a Democrat, and put the D behind
No, if it was a Democrat, nothing would happen. I mean, a story came out today that Biden had a bank account that he was commingling funds with that Hunter Biden was using to buy illegal drugs and pay for prostitutes, and that's not even in the news. So if anybody's a Democrat, they have complete immunity. Hey, Mike, thanks for calling. If someone's a Democrat, they have
$4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly
I think we're back now, guys.
Learn how planning ahead can
Yes,
protect you
we are
from
back.
running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. Learn how Medicaid can pay for your nursing home and home care expenses, and much more. This free workshop with attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, October 26th at 2 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call 1-855-FLA Estate. That's 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782.
Choices and cost considerations. I Will Advisors represents all major national insurance companies, not just a single carrier. Get the right coverage for you. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Hey guys, we're back 36 minutes after the hour. Now, seniors, Medicare recipients, remember Debbie from I Will Advisors, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, can help you with your Medicare during this open enrollment period. Once open enrollment period is over, you got what you got. And Debbie will handle everything for you. She handles Steve's Medicare. She'll make sure that your doctors and your specialists are covered. Your prescription drugs are covered. She'll make sure if you're paying for part this or part that you need to be paying for it. And if you are, making sure you're not paying too much. So no matter where you are in Florida, Debbie from I Will Advisors can help you with your Medicare during this open enrollment period. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian. Jeff from Pearl Springs.
Hey, Jeff.
The thing that's kind of interesting is there's been a number of Democrats that have come in and they've been able to give a statement before they
Yeah, you're talking about that IRS lady years ago. I forgot. Yeah, Lois Lerner. Yeah.
There's been other ones. The thing is, Steve Bannon's not going to get an opportunity to even say anything first. They're going to go right to questions on him. So it only makes sense that he should plead the fifth if he gets dragged in there, and
I think it's I think it's important. I hope they carry it live on TV. Everything. Do you think Steve Bannon? Well, he's going to be held in contempt of Congress when they have the vote tomorrow. There's no doubt. Democrats run the House, and a lot of Republicans are going to support that. Will he be arrested, you think, and hauled in front of the committee by federal marshals?
I think he will. I think he will, and depending on how it looks, you'll see the press show him in a bad light that he's not testifying. And
well, do you know? I think Steve Bannon wants that to happen. I think he wants to be held in contempt of Congress. I think he wants to be apprehended by, I guess, I don't know if it's federal marshals. I don't know who goes and gets him, FBI, I don't know. But he may come in there cuffed and shackled. He wants that image. He wants people to see that.
He would love that. Roger Stone probably would love to have something like that happen too.
Well, but it's not grandstanding. What Steve Bannon is doing is activism, and he wants people to see how see. This is the thing with I was this way when I was a younger guy, when I was like 18 to 21ish, 2ish. When you're young, you get obsessed over things, and I've been angry at people. And when you're angry at someone, anger is intoxifying. It clouds your judgment. You can't see anything clearly. You don't realize it. You think you do, but you can't. And I think he wants to be hauled in there by federal agents. I think he would enjoy being handcuffed and shackled if they would do that. He wants people to see how bad this Trump derangement syndrome is and how much he wants to be a political prisoner to prove a point about what's going on here.
Yeah, the Democrats don't realize that everything they do, they play into the Republicans' hand. There's nothing that they can do right now that makes them look good. Everything about them looks terrible.
Well, Democrats, the thing with Democrats, and this is not new with this era of Democrats, everything they do is a scheme. Everything they do, it's never what it is on the surface. There's always a scheme involved. Like this whole committee, I would like a true committee to get to the bottom of what happened that day, but that's not what they're about. They're there to convict Donald Trump of something. And if they've got to hold Steve Bannon in contempt of Congress, they'll do it.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, take care. Now, can you think of anyone, and our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, anyone who has been not only held in contempt of Congress, but hauled in by federal agents and compelled to testify in front of a committee? I've never seen it. I'd like to hear what you guys think about that. And I'll tell you, one thing it says, too, is that Steve Bannon, I think, is very confident that Trump will be elected in 2024. Because the way he's acting, I don't know. I'm not Mark Levin. I'm not a legal expert, so I don't know. But could he go to prison and do some time for this? I think he's looking for another pardon in 25 for this. And he really is risking a lot. There were others who have not shown up to testify, but the committee has said that they are cooperating with them. They're in communication with them. Steve Bannon is not, and they know where he is. They just got to go to his studio. It's right down the street in D.C. Sometimes he's in California, I think, but I think he's in D.C. right now most of the time. And Steve Bannon is probably sleeping with his clothes on. And they are salivating. Every once in a while, you have to turn over to MSNBC and CNN. They are salivating over the thought of Steve Bannon being held in criminal contempt of Congress. I've never seen them salivate like this since Trump left D.C. All right, we're going to take our last break of the first hour. My name's Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back after this.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife, Lori, did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive.
Sorry, guys, we're having some internet issues this morning. I apologize for that.
It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant.
But we're going to keep on trucking.
They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is.
You might have to refresh a little bit. No, I actually deleted the VPN in the device I stream with.
Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Alrighty, guys, we are back 45 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Back to the phones. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Brian. It's John in Wellington.
Hey, John. How you doing?
I'm okay. Listen, as far as the Democrats are concerned, they always seem to turn their own disasters into something positive. I can recall vividly when people were unemployed by the scores when Obama was president. Pelosi came out and said that's a good thing because it gives people the opportunity to work on their hobbies and with their family.
And art. They can work on their art and their novel.
Right. And as far as the Steve Bannon appearing before Congress, why, if he wants to go, why doesn't he just pull a Hillary Clinton? And every single time they ask him a question, he can say, I don't recall. I don't recall. I don't recall.
No, I think he's going to do the fifth. I really do. Do you think they're going to arrest him when they hold him in contempt? Because he's not going to comply. There's no way.
I do. I think they're going to. They're going to turn it into a circus because that's what they do. And the mainstream media is going to gobble it up. And he's going to turn the tables on them. And he's going to make them look like the fools that they are.
Well, he is, let me tell you, Steve Bannon is a incredibly brilliant man. And because he's a little sloppy with the hair and he doesn't shave all that much, they don't realize how smart he is. But he is probably in the MAGA circle around Trump, the smartest person in that circle of anyone that ever was around Trump, and I'm including Mnuchin in that. He's a brilliant strategist, and I do believe he wants to be hauled in front of that committee in handcuffs. I really do.
If it does happen, when do you think it'll take place?
Well, it's the government, so it runs slow. They got to time it with something. So they're going to have the vote on Thursday, right? And then it goes to the Justice Department, and they're not going to do it over the weekend. They need to do it in the week. It would, to me, it'd be like that's like a Monday, Tuesday thing, so they can have a whole news cycle with it, you know. But have you heard of someone though that not only has been held in contempt of Congress, but has been apprehended and hauled in by agents to testify? I've never seen that before that I can recall.
Never. I've searched my memory just now. No, nothing comes into my head.
Well, see, what Bannon is trying to do is, we have political prisoners in this country. Dinesh D'Souza, when he was put in prison. And if you watch his movie, Hillary's America, which he should retitle and re-release, it's a brilliant movie, they put Dinesh D'Souza in prison with murderers. They didn't put him in, Club Fed, where, with doctors and dentists and people like that. He was with murderers, which means they were trying to kill him, maybe.
He disagreed with the socialist left.
Obama.
Take an example of it.
Well, that's right. And we have political prisoners today. There's no justification for going in the building. No justification. But a lot of these people have been held in solitary confinement. They're not getting due process. Nothing. Their rights are being violated. And I think Steve Bannon wants to highlight what's this political purge that the establishments of both parties are trying to do. And Liz Cheney was in all her glory yesterday. That's going to be short-lived. In the end, she's going to be remembered with the fondness of, I don't know, McCarthy or something. She is not going to, when this is over, Liz Cheney is not going to be looking good.
Yep.
All right, John, take care. John in Wellington. Good guy. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
All right, Wisconsin Gary, what's up?
You know, with this Bannon thing, and we don't know what really happens behind closed doors. Maybe he got in touch with Mark Levin. Maybe Mark Levin kind of helped him figure out what to do. It's either Bannon's going to plead the fifth, or in another way, I think it's going to be executive privilege is what he's going to say. You know, and it's really, like you said, it's going to make the Congress flip out because it's, to try to push more out of them. But Bannon is a very smart man. I mean, yeah, he might be shaggy, as some people would say, but...
Well, President Trump calls him Sloppy Steve Bannon.
But, I mean, those are the most brilliant people that could be around. I mean, a lot of people, might feel like they're intimidated by one person, and Bannon, the Congress should feel like they should be intimidated because Bannon is a really remarkable guy. So...
Yeah.
But
I'm like, I agree with the liberals on one thing. Like the MSNBCers, I want Steve Bannon held in contempt, arrested, and brought in front of the committee in handcuffs and ankle shackles. I want to see him come in there in shackles and cuffs and forced to testify. And I think President Trump wants to see that too.
Now, on that part, for the issuing the subpoena, if it would have been you or me, I think they would have done it for the weekend because, then this way, the news cycle on the weekend will basically keep flipping on this and advertise it all weekend long that he's been arrested and everything else, haul him into court if this is coming up for Tuesday. I think that's going to be the big thing that Democrats are going to try pushing that narrative on that.
Now, let me ask you something unrelated that's in your area of expertise. Wisconsin Gary is a truck driver, an 18-wheeler. They're blaming the truck drivers for the supply chain crisis. There's not enough of you guys. Is that the truth?
Sometimes, yes, that is the truth. But like what I also heard with California, they've got a law that's passed that if you're not in a union or anything of that, because I'm a private contractor myself.
Oh, you're a bad guy then.
Yes, I'm considered a bad guy, and in California, they've got the highest regulations in California for picking apart trucks, and that's one reason why I do not go into California.
Oh, really?
Because if I come across the scale in a DOT, they'll literally black flag me if they find the littlest thing wrong with my truck. And
So this is amazing because I've been watching the mainstream media talk about this all week, and I haven't heard them say what you said. So in California, they really only use unionized truck drivers? Oh, so there's not a truck driver shortage. There's just too many hardworking independent business guys like you, and they don't want to say, "Hey, you independent truckers around America, come to Long Beach." They don't want to do that. Oh.
Also, there's also more involved with the regulations. Now, a lot of guys didn't want to do the ELD logging, which I've been electronic logging.
Well, that's too much inside. That's too much inside baseball. But basically, and I get it because Steve and I, this business model that we have here on the Steve Kane Show would not work in California because of the union requirements. I do like 4 union jobs, maybe 5 union jobs. You know what I mean? And they wouldn't allow it. And the business model wouldn't work. So this crisis could actually disappear very quickly if Newsom And Biden lifted these strict requirements both for the union requirements, and some of these ridiculous regulations temporarily to unload the ships, but they don't want to do that because they're in with the unions. That's an interesting thing. It's amazing. You broke major news. No one has said this in the national media, Gary. No one.
Now, see, the other thing is, too, here, okay, now, like us that actually work or, want to support our family. So a lot of the baby boomer drivers have retired. Now, a lot of these guys that get into trucking, they all of a sudden think this is a 9-to-5 job. This is not a 9-to-5 job. I work around the clock. During the week, I could be listening to you, like right now I'm heading to Minnesota. But then on the next day, all of a sudden my time can switch around, and all of a sudden I'll be working complete nights. And so people think this is a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
It's a round-the-clock job. So a lot of the new people that are growing up, a lot of these millennials, don't want to get into truck driving because of the fact that they can't work a 9-to-5.
Yeah, because they got to be on their Twitch stream at night. They can't be on the road.
That's why there could very well possibly be a shortage of drivers in another perspective way, because everyone thinks that this is a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
School in Appleton that I go to every so often to talk to the new drivers that are coming in, and I outright tell these guys, if you think this is a 9-to-5 job, you are dead wrong.
When I went to broadcasting school, which is a waste of money. No one go to broadcasting school. It is a waste of money. If you want to get in radio, contact me off the air, and I'll tell you how to do it for free. But I'm not going to train you, but I'll give you the tips. But when I went to broadcasting school, and the teacher I had, he was a DJ on one of the big FM stations in Miami, and he handed every one of us in class a dictionary, and he said, okay, I want you to look up the word holiday. We all looked up holiday. He says, take your pens and cross that word out. That word no longer has meaning to you. Yeah.
The one thing I tell people, for $29.95, I'll tell you how to do something.
Yeah.
Something to be like, well, where do I pay? I'm like, it's a joke.
Exactly.
The School of Hard Knocks.
Well, exactly. Like I have this lifetime mentorship with Steve Kane. But this you broke a lot of news here, Gary, because what you said is see this. I'm glad I asked you about this. So the crisis in California is not a lack of truckers. They use unionized labor. They won't lift the unionized requirements, and they have too many petty nickel and dime regulations to suck money out of the truck drivers. If Biden and Newsom would call on independent truckers like you to go to California, this could be over pretty quick. But they don't want to do that because they're in bed with the unions. That's huge news. I'm so glad you brought that up. All right, Gary, keep on trucking. Take care. Thanks for the call. That is amazing. One really cool thing about this job is, there's so many people in the listening audience that have all kinds of knowledge and expertise that you don't realize that people have. And Wisconsin Gary's a real-life independent truck driver, which when I was growing up, being a truck driver was the coolest thing to be. BJ and the Bear, Convoy, Moving On. Remember that? All those shows? Oh, man. And then you'd go by do kids still do the thing where they try to get the truckers to pull the horn? I don't know. But that's, we broke some news here. So Wisconsin Gary, driving his 18-wheeler to Minnesota, right now as we speak, has the entire, I hope Mayor Pete was listening. Wisconsin Gary just gave us the solution, the complete solution to the entire, supply crisis. It's the unions. Oh my goodness! See, and I was talking yesterday on the show that if Trump was in office, he would probably the Army can drive trucks, they can pick up trailers, the Navy can unload ships, they do it all the time. Bring in the military. We don't need that. We just need independent truckers nationwide to go to Long Beach, go to Los Angeles. Boom. Woo! It's amazing. It's amazing. See, this is what happens when you have an administration filled with people that never have jobs. Like if Mayor Pete wants to know about the truck driving shortage, he'll go and talk to the truck driver union leader. Not a real trucker somewhere in America. Wow. Hey, our number is toll-free. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. And Wisconsin Gary's answer, you won't find that by Googling. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's K-A-N-E and the number 1. Oh, man. Let's take our break for the top of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Hour number 2 begins now.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me.
Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Wesley. Good morning, Brian. They will give Bannon the stormtrooper early morning paramilitary treatment all the way like Stone and Manafort. Yeah, that's right. That's why Bannon's sleeping fully clothed at night. Jacqueline, $20 super sticker. Thank you. Everyone thank Jacqueline as well as Wesley. Thank you, everyone. Oh, man. Right turn, Clyde. That's right. Right turn, Clyde. Oh, my gosh. Do you guys remember the lyrics to BJ and the Bear? I'm not going to sing them. BJ McKay and his best friend Bear. That's right. Okay, now I did something. My blood pressure's been high this week. I'm going to a new doctor today, and I did something really stupid. I brought my blood pressure machine here, and I'm going to take it throughout the show. I'm not going to tell you guys the reading because I don't want to get too. Oh, I got it on backwards. Hold on, let me hit the next commercial first. I should not do this. Steve Kane Show. Hey, Richie. Just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Smokey and the Bear. No, BJ and the Bear. BJ and the Bear. Okay. Let's hope it's not too, like it's normal. Oh, I have the cord in the wrong place. It is high. Okay, let me do the other arm. That's the right place, right there. I'm doing a little meditation here. Yeah, it's high. It's high. Sophie G, $50 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thanks Sophie G. Good morning, Brian. Look into garlic as a natural BP relief.
Home seizure of your assets. Learn how Medicaid can pay for your nursing home and home care expenses and much more. This free workshop with attorney Barry Seal is Tuesday,
Steve Kane Show.
26th at 2 p.m. at the South
Hold on.
Civic
Hold on.
Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call 1-855.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sophie, Jacqueline, Wesley, for those super chats. Make sure you guys thank them all. No, it's Smokey and the Bandit, which is one of that movie holds up. My wife and I watched Smokey and the Bandit like, I don't know, a year or two ago. It's so damn funny. I miss Burt Reynolds. I can't hold my arm at heart level because where I'm at. That's why I'm not showing the numbers to you guys. I don't need everyone's opinion on my numbers.
Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's Steve.
Hey guys, good morning. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Hour number 2 has begun. If you've just tuned in, you missed a lot. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll be back to the phones in just a moment. But in the last 10 minutes of the first hour of the program, we solved the entire supply chain crisis. Wisconsin Gary, a truck driver, driving an 18-wheeler to Minnesota as we were speaking, gave us the solution to the whole thing. It was amazing. Let's take some calls. I'll tell you, if you missed it, I'll recap it later. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hi, yes. I was just listening to you talking to the truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably too young to remember back in the late 70s when they had the convoy of trucks that took hay to the west because of the drought. They could do the same thing with the food chain with all these independent truck drivers if California would let them in, and that would help alleviate a lot of the problems.
Yeah, but see, the problem is, Gary, what Wisconsin Gary, the truck driver, told us I did not know, is that in California, the truck drivers are unionized. And when a non-union driver goes into California, they harass them with technicalities at the weigh stations and blacklist them. So independent truckers are not welcome in California. And that the problem is not a shortage of truckers, it's that they won't let independent truckers into California to help. And Biden and the Democrats are so in with the unions that there's no solution to it. I mean that, and I've not heard anyone say that. And I've not heard anyone bring that up until Gary called. Maybe it's not news to you, but that's news to me.
Well, what would be probably a good suggestion if the unions would work with the independent truck drivers?
Oh, they'll never do that.
Well, if they would drive the load to the state line.
Unions are a poison. Listen, the reason that all those ships are out there from China is because the unions drove all the jobs to China, all the manufacturing jobs. The unions are a poison. They do no good in American society. 100 years ago, maybe, okay? But not today. Today, they're a poison.
They are mafia.
The only union that the Democrats don't like is the police union because they hate cops. But any other union, they're all in bed with them. Yeah. I mean, what good does the unions do today? When Obama did the bailout of General Motors, what we found out was General Motors, the main business of General Motors was this. They were basically a retirement home for retired auto workers, and making cars was like a side business. And the union that GM was going bankrupt because the union benefits were too high. That was a union bailout, not a GM bailout.
Unions are nothing but crooks. They just want to take your money.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they're for.
I don't know any union who's happy about it. Except, you get these liberals. You get these liberals in some of these liberal states, but they just don't understand. Because they don't know another way, because they don't live. Like, what state do you live in?
I live in Indiana.
You're in Indiana. Here in Florida, they call it a right-to-work state, which is such a strange. I hate that phrase, right to work. You know what that means?
Indiana's a right-to-work state.
So you know what it means. Yeah, a lot of people don't. With a right-to-work state, what that means is you have the right to work without being in a union. That's insane. It's America. You don't have the freedom to work if you're not in a union in a lot of these states. And that's why we have this problem in California. The truckers union. That's amazing. Hey, thanks for calling, Indiana. Appreciate it. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian.
Hey, Andrea.
The reason why they're not going to solve the supply chain issue is because right now, believe it or not, everybody is paying back their stimulus payments and inflation. That's why they're not going to solve it.
Yeah.
And I love Gary. I think he's great. And
Oh, yeah.
thank God every day for our truckers.
Truck drivers are cool, man. Truck drivers are cool. And let me ask you, though, I started talking about Bannon today. Do you think Bannon's going to get arrested by federal agents and hauled in handcuffs in front of the January 6th committee?
Oh, my God. I hope so.
Isn't that crazy? We're hoping that he gets arrested. Well, Bannon is, too. So...
Well, Brian, the thing about, so in my opinion, now you're going to see what separates the men from the boys. Right, so Bongino laid down a big threat. Let's see what actually happens. When the pressure is on, let's see who cracks.
Now, this is what I think. I think I said this on the air yesterday, but I don't know if I talked about it enough to understand. I've thought a lot. I am a huge fan and supporter of Dan Bongino. Okay, so I'm not saying anything negative about Dan Bongino. I love Dan Bongino. I think he's amazing. Okay, but this is what I think is going on, and I have talked about this in recent months. Bongino, he does his 3-hour-a-day radio show. He does his podcast, and he's a Fox News pundit too. And I've talked on the air many times over the last few months about how he looks so tired. And I think he wants out of the radio show. I think he wants out of that contract. I think he wants out of the radio to focus in on the podcast, and maybe he wants to be on the 5 or expand himself on television. And he's using this as a way to walk away from the radio, save face, and look like a hero. That's what I think may be going on here.
Don't forget, too, Brian, Dan Bongino has had some very critical health issues.
Yeah.
I mean, so...
A 3-hour radio show is tiring. When I get off the air every day, and I've heard Howard Stern talk about this, and Robin Quivers. They've talked about this, and other friends of mine, too, that are on in different day parts. You get off the air, and a half hour and an hour later, you crash. and the reason that is there's so much adrenaline goes into a 3-hour radio show. I know it doesn't sound like it, but this takes a lot of energy. And
really exhausting.
Yeah, it is. And so and with his health issues and the other things that he's doing, and I'm cool with that. I mean, I will not say a negative word about Dan Bongino, and nothing I say should be seen as a criticism of Dan Bongino. I'm just giving an observation as to what I think's going on following his career.
But going back to Bannon, I hope that they do exactly that. I hope they arrest him. I hope they drag him in front of Congress.
So you agree with Rachel Maddow then on MSNBC? I guess I do too. We want him arrested. Different reasons, though.
I just want to see him sit there and go through the kangaroo court and plead the fifth, because they are going to go ballistic. And that's what I really want to see. Because I think that the Senate and Congress are really nothing but reality TV at this point. But that's the show I want to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Watch them lose it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If Bannon goes in front of that committee and he takes the fifth, they're going to be furious. They're going to be screaming at him like they're going to look like Joe McCarthy during his downfall, screaming at people.
And I can't wait for that. You are my morning people, and then I go to Bannon all afternoon.
See, Bannon, he's a millionaire, and he made millions of dollars off of Seinfeld. which is interesting. He owns a piece of Seinfeld. And yeah, well, he's a lawyer, and his law firm did some legal work for the network for Seinfeld before it was a hit. And they didn't want to spend a lot of money, so they paid, they didn't know, get canceled, after 13 episodes. And he did it for a percentage of Seinfeld, which by the way, is now on Netflix. So Steve Bannon is probably getting all kinds of more Seinfeld money lately. Steve Bannon, unlike me, is independently wealthy. And what a lot of people call that is FU money. So he can afford, yeah, I know, I could use some of that. Well, that means you can do whatever you want. You've got enough money, when you're independently wealthy like that, you've got enough money, you don't have to answer to anybody, and you can afford to take risks that others can't take because they can't be out of work or something like that. You know what I mean? So Bannon, this is awesome. I'm very excited about this. I hope when they bring him in there, he's in handcuffs and shackles. That would even be, he'll be in handcuffs and shackles, smiling ear to ear.
Exactly. But didn't Bannon just got arrested a couple of months ago?
He was pardoned. No, I know it looks that way because they show the video. No, that's when Trump was in office. He was arrested for some of that Build the Wall charity thing with the one veteran, and he was pardoned by President Trump for that.
But that, I can't. It's so sad.
It's a great time. It's a great time. Yeah. All right, hey Andrea, take care. Thanks for the call. Let me take this call. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey Brian, it's Mike from Houston.
Hey Mike, what's up?
Hey, yeah, about the Steve Bannon thing. The Democrats really need to think really carefully about this because I don't see Steve Bannon taking the fifth.
Well, it's Bannon, not Banyan. Bannon.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's still early for me. I'm still waking up.
That's cool.
But yeah, I've watched a lot of. That man is absolutely brilliant, and he's going to take. I hate to quote cinematography here. He's going to take a flamethrower to that committee. I'm not sure it's a very smart idea for them to subpoena him.
Well, now they're in. They gotta play it out now. And I watched. I was talking earlier in the last hour. I watched on YouTube this morning. Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNBC did a segment on it, and the left. They're so stupid. They're playing right into Bannon and Trump's hand here. They're salivating over him being arrested. They're like so excited.
They're giving him the platform. They're giving him the venue, the notoriety, the media attention.
He might end up being Trump's running mate in 24 when this is done. Instead of DeSantis.
Well, actually, I was kind of hoping it'd be Pompeo, but Steve would be a good.
Now, let me ask you. You're in Texas, and I can tell by the accent you're a native Texan.
No, actually, I'm from Virginia. I'm from just outside Washington, D.C.
Oh my gosh! And you got. Oh my goodness! Have you been in Texas? Oh, because maybe you don't have the answer. I could Google it, but I was hoping to get a Texas. Well, I saw today there's about 100,000 marching towards Texas, right? From the southern border, Haitians, and I was wondering how large Santa Anna's army that marched on the Alamo was. Is the army of Haitians equal to Santa Anna's army? I don't know.
I think Santa Anna, if I recall correctly, about 14,000. I think he had about 14,000.
That's it? 14,000?
Don't quote me. I'm not, but I do think it was around 14,000.
Oh my goodness! So Texas is being hit with larger invasions than even Santa Anna.
Hey, I don't know my numbers, but I think it's more than we put ashore on the first day of Normandy.
Yeah, I know. I could Google it, but the Googling's no fun. It takes all the fun out of it. Okay.
But I will say, practically had you gotten a native Texan, they could have told you that answer. One of the things I love about down here, they teach not just Texas state history, but they also, Texas had been a republic at one time, its own country, for a brief period, albeit. But and they teach American history, and a lot of the problems that we see in our society today, and we see in the poor decisions that our politicians make today, stems from ignorance of history, as the Romans.
Yeah, and what they do with Texas, I was watching a while back a documentary on the History Channel on the Texan War of Independence, and the whole thing was about how Colonel Travis was a slave owner, and the guys at the Alamo were fighting for slavery and all this stuff, and the good Mexican people, slavery was outlawed in Mexico, and they wouldn't handle these Texians with their slaves, and they've turned the Texan independence into such a negative thing, all about race and slavery. It's ridiculous. Hey, take care.
Everything is that, and the irony of ironies is that the people who actually lived through that era in history got past it, and yet here we are 150 years later, behaving with worse, less tolerance. At the end of the Civil War, I do kind of know a little bit about this, even though I'm largely ignorant of Texas history, coming from Virginia, of course. But at the end of the Civil War, both parties were like, okay, it's over. Let's move forward. Okay, you name your fort. U.S. government. You name your forts, or you name the forts that.
That's not exactly true. There was a 10-year military occupation of the South after the war, and there were no free and fair elections. But I don't want to get involved in that. Steve will kill me. But hey, listen, take care. Thanks for the call. Oh, Richie the bus driver is on hold. We'll take our break. Come back with Richie. I'm sure Richie doesn't want to be on for 30 seconds before the break. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We will take our break and be right back after this. On Friday, we welcomed a new sponsor to the Steve Kane Show, AJ's Naturals. AJ Natural is our vitamin and wellness nutraceutical shop, and AJ's Natural is located in the Festival Marketplace over there in Pompano. Now, on Friday, we spoke with Janet Cimarelli, who Steve and I have known since 4,000. Yeah, I was thinking when I was thinking 4,000 or 5,000 too, but I wasn't sure. I haven't looked into any of that for so long.
Natural with the nutraceutical message for today. Anita, welcome to the program.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Steve. How are you?
How are you doing?
Very good. I was wondering if you guys had seen the article over the weekend about the Canadian dollar store chain called Dollarama. They had gotten busted for selling hand sanitizer full of graphene oxide, a known carcinogen.
Oh, my.
Oh, my gosh.
And, considering that we are dousing ourselves with hand sanitizer the last year and a half, and everywhere you go, you see all these off-brands popping up. You have to really be careful about what you're putting on your body all the time. Our skin absorbs everything, so it's just as important as what you put in your body. I want your listeners to know that at AJ's, of course, we carry graphene oxide-free hand sanitizer. We have paraben-free shampoos and body washes, because that's also a carcinogen found in a lot of the products.
It's higher now than it was last time.
Fluoride-free toothpaste, and that's the most important to me, because I don't know if you guys know, back in the 1990s, there was a study showing that excessive fluoride in the water leads to deposits in the pineal glands, the breast tissue, and the heart, calcifies, and can lead to all kinds of organ issues. Not to mention, fluoride makes us docile.
Yeah.
So, of course, at AJ's, we carry all these clean products for our customers and your listeners, and most importantly, we have Janet Cimarelli there giving free consultations.
We've been in business with Janet Cimarelli over a 20-year period. She was one of the first sponsors we had.
Janet introduced both Steve and myself to nutraceuticals. Now, AJ's Natural, they have two other. You don't want to take Xanax and do a radio show. So you'll know when I say, first off, all the nutraceuticals that you know and love, they have at AJ's Natural in the Festival Marketplace. And the other thing...
The lowest prices.
Well, that's the other thing. The prices over there on the shelves, are so low, it will blow your mind away. Now, AJ's Natural in the Festival Marketplace is located right across from the food court at the Festival Marketplace. And for those of you that don't know, the Festival Marketplace is immediately east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road in Pompano. All right, Anita, good talking to you today. Give Janet our best, and we'll talk to either you or Janet tomorrow.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, guys, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. 22 minutes after the hour. Let's go to Richie the bus driver. Hey, Richie.
Yeah, good morning. I'd like to say this to you about the hearings that's going to go on here with Steve Bannon. Okay? Liz Cheney, who was appointed by Nancy Pelosi, said it's her life's work now to make sure that Donald Trump never runs for political office.
Oh, pathetic.
That's an appointment. Kinzinger is another anti-Trumper.
The Kinzinger guy, yeah.
Appointed by Nancy Pelosi. But the kicker is, you know Al from Carl Springs, racist Al from Carl Springs?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bernie Thompson is Al from Carl Springs in a suit and tie. He's a total...
Oh, yeah, I saw him on... he was the guy on Lawrence O'Donnell last night. I'm pretty sure. He's the black Democrat on the committee. And, yeah, he's a nasty man.
And the chairman in the past has called our Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and Uncle Tom.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, you can YouTube that. And he called him an Uncle Tom. He also called all the supporters of Trump before Trump was running for president all thugs and all sorts of terrible things because his protesters were thrown out of there.
Well, do you think they're going to arrest Steve Bannon and haul him in?
I think they should, and Steve Bannon will. I don't think he will testify because he opens everything up.
Well, what happens? Well, what happens is tomorrow, Thursday, they're going to have a vote of the entire House on the contempt, and then that's obviously going to pass because a lot of they have the majority, and so then it goes to the Department of Justice to decide how to proceed, and that's Merrick Garland who thinks parents at school board meetings are terrorists. So Merrick Garland could send federal marshals to go pick him up.
Right, and he'll go there. And Steve Bannon's got a great smile, and he's going to stick it to him. He's going to smile at him, and he's going to go over every question, and they're going to be frustrated. But this is all a big show. This is a show because they're trying to dirty the waters for President Trump to run again.
They've convinced themselves that this is an issue, and the problem they have a lot of problems, but the biggest problem they have are things are so bad with Joe Biden that people, and we're only like 10 months into this, that people are going to be begging for Donald Trump to come back in 2024. If things were going well now, it'd be a different story.
They're already saying, cut down on your expectations for Christmas and everything else.
Yeah, but I'm a business owner and I do 50% of my business for Christmas. What am I supposed to do?
You're going to lose your business.
Yeah.
Remember Obama, the new goal, everything was a low expectation.
The new normal.
Yeah, the new normal. Well, this is what they're going to try to push on everybody because this is actually, I'm going to say this here, and people suffer now. And the inflation is going to get a lot worse. It's definitely going to go.
Well, let me tell you, the inflation. I saw a story last night on the inflation of basic goods, gas and food is up at 35 to 40% on average. And these are staples. These are like and these are the staples that you need to make food at home fresh, and that hits. People don't understand how expensive it is to have children when they're rich and out of touch like Jen Psaki and others. They just don't give a damn. And a lot of people say this is by design. These people are too incompetent to design this. They're just so out of touch with reality in their ivory towers, they don't understand what people are going through.
Well, did you see that? I'm going to throw this at you. Did you see when Biden left the restaurant and his wife without the mask on?
Mm-hmm.
On what? Did you know what an appetizer for one person costs in that restaurant?
Mm-mm.
200. It was on Fox. 270. Waters exposed it. $275 for the appetizer.
Oh my.
$50 for the main.
Wow, not bad for a kid from Scranton. I've never over $200 for an appetizer. Oh my gosh,
some kind of
Let me tell you, I've been to some nice places in my time. I don't think I've ever had a $250 appetizer.
Oh, these get so out of touch. These people, I mean, you get crazy when you see it. But you want to know, we're going to have a terrible,
I wonder how many wings at Wings Plus I could get for the price of Joe Biden's appetizer. Just his appetizer, not everyone's. Oh my goodness.
50,000 people.
Exactly. Well, this really shows you what I've been talking about. There's no empathy from them. Here, this Marie Antoinette attitude. People cannot afford to fill up their gas tanks. Food prices are up 35-40%, and he's going out with a TV crew eating $250 appetizers.
The dinner was $150. It's some kind of exotic fish. I mean, I guess a guy's got to dive deep into some Indian Ocean or something.
Oh, please. He got it out of the muck of the Potomac, probably. Give me a break. And they tell
so outrageous. The whole thing is outrageous. And you know what's worse than all it is? You can't get a question answered from this guy. He turns his back on America every day, and he puts that redhead who lies to her teeth on every day to the point where you can't even stand watching it because she's a phony fake.
You know, a lot of people call her Peppermint Patty, but I think she reminds me more of Raggedy Ann. Remember Raggedy Ann and Andy?
Annie. She looks like Annie from the Broadway play.
Exactly. Yeah. Who's Daddy Warbucks? Is Obama, I guess, is her Daddy Warbucks.
Well, I have a bad Christmas here, and in a way, I hope it happens because the more people.
Well, let me tell you something. People don't, my daughter's grown, but they never stop. It never stops, no matter how old they get. But Christmas time, with prices up, if this was a normal period we had been in, and prices were up, it'd be rough, and people would struggle through. But we just had this year and a half of lockdowns and shutdowns, and Christmas is a stretch for people already. And then you bring in this with the increase. My mother-in-law bought the Thanksgiving turkey yesterday because
small birds.
Yeah, they're not going to have turkeys at Thanksgiving, and she bought the turkey yesterday. You're not going to be able to get the full-size turkey, and when you do, it's going to be so outrageously expensive. It's crazy.
They said there'll be plenty of big turkeys, but the small turkeys will be shortage.
Yeah. Yeah, we're the turkeys. We got to suffer. Hey, take care. Thanks for the call. Richie the bus driver. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. Yes. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. Something's going on here. Andrea says she doesn't want to go on the air. I guess she doesn't want to get me in trouble with Steve because the one call rule, I broke that with Richie the other day, and I got written up. All right, listen, let's take the break. We'll come right back. Anytime, this is just something very strange with this show, okay? I should have just gone to the break after Richie. Anytime I say, you know what, let me take one more call when I shouldn't before the break, it's always one that shouldn't be on the air. All right, listen, we'll take our break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Stay tuned.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires.
Yeah.
Go easy.
Yeah, what's up? Hello? She put the phone down. Hello? Andrea? Okay, she'll have to call back. I don't know what she wanted.
For my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive.
Steve Kane Show.
You a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure.
Oh, I can't. Now I want to tell you guys, I'm going to give some Christmas shopping recommendations right now from the Thomas Edison of sleep, Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow, and I'm going to give you, if you go to mypillow.com, any special you see there, you can take advantage of with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. But I'm going to recommend a great selection here for a Christmas gift for anyone on your gift giving list, and you're going to get an incredible deal on this. The MyPillow mattress topper Now, there's if you go to mypillow.com, you'll see this. It's almost right at the top. With our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, you can get the MyPillow mattress topper for 30% off with the two free MyPillows. So you get the mattress topper and the MyPillows, 30% off. The pillows are free, by the way. 30% off the mattress topper, 2 free MyPillows with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. And when you order that, also order this other great deal, the sale of the year, Mike Lindell calls it, on the MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. Buy one set, get a second set free. Let me tell you something. You get someone on your gift-giving list, whether it's your wife or your husband, your son, your daughter, grandma, grandpa, your employees, whoever, you get them the mattress topper with the 2 MyPillows and a set of the 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. You're going to get an incredible deal on it, and because of the incredible discounts, buy one set of sheets, second set free, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, plus you get the 2 free MyPillows. That's a Christmas gift that they will love you for year after year, I promise you. I have both of these things, well, actually all 3, the pillows, the mattress topper, and the sheets, and I'm here to tell you that will be a gift that the recipient will remember for years to come. So go to mypillow.com. It's promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. All right, good morning. You're on the radio.
Okay, good morning.
Hey, Doug, what's up?
You know, Steve Bannon, what a good guy, man. I'm so glad somebody's finally standing up to Congress that is just nothing but political theater these days. You know, I'm sure they're going to probably have to arrest them to maybe show how tough they are. And when they do, he won't be able to probably say 2 words anyway, but if they ask him.
No, he'll say, he'll take the Fifth Amendment, and that's always dramatic. That's always dramatic.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll even take the Fifth. Normally, you hardly have any time to answer anyway. As soon as you say 2 words, my time, and they go back.
Yeah, exactly.
This is such such political theater. It's sickening, but I'm looking forward to seeing this one this time because I'm hoping he'll just start laughing at them or do something really to annoy them.
Mm-hmm.
Annoy. They need to be.
Oh no! This Steve Bannon is going to expose them. They're going to look like lunatics when they start screaming at him.
I'm looking forward. This is going to be great. I'm thinking that they're going to call him in, but if they don't, then we'll be missing a good show.
Mm-hmm.
When you said about the gas, I got gas yesterday, and sure enough, I think you're right. I pulled up, and the person in front of me had I looked at and see what they paid, $11. Who puts gas in their car for $11? So I think you're right. I think people are cutting back because they can't afford it because the gas prices are I paid.
Well, I know, you know, filling up the cars, it costed me and my car about $10 more, you know, but to fill up, a roundabout, you know, and I always buy regular, but just a tip, I mean, I find personally, if I fill my car up, it seems like the gas goes farther than if I just put in a few bucks. You know? I don't know if that's just perception, or does it evaporate in there when you have less of it? I don't know. But it just seems when I fill the tank up, it seems like I get a lot further than if I put in quarter or a half.
Is that right? I never thought of that. I always fill up because
I always fill up too, but there's been times when I couldn't.
You know, especially I got to fill up, especially I have a Hummer, and when
oh my goodness, really?
8 miles to the gallon, so I got to fill up all the time.
Oh my, they must hate you.
But you know,
well, you know what you should do? You should order on Amazon a sticker that just says this vehicle powered by natural gas, and put it on the back window, and everybody will think you're a hero. You know, that would be, I'm serious. I saw a pickup truck going down the road a while back near my house that was powered on chicken oil. And I've never seen one of those things before. I've heard of them, and I've never seen it. And it was so strange. It had like the whole top of the roof of the truck was like charred, like a grill. And it had kind of like this smokestack on it that every once in a while would pop up, and the smoke would come out, and it smelled like fried chicken. the light. It was very weird. But, yeah, put on the back of your Hummer, this vehicle powered by natural gas, and the liberals will love you. You'll be a hero. Hey, take care, Conservative Doug. Good morning. You're on the radio. Good morning. Once, twice. Yeah, what's your name?
Hey, good morning.
What's your name?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, hi. Hey, I just want to say that there is a physics behind the full tank. The full tank lasts longer in reality than a half tank. And there is a physics behind that with all the gas and vapors that is generated. So when you have a full tank, it really lasts longer. So a good tip for everybody with those prices going high, keep the tank always full.
Oh, because it a lot of the gas turns to vapor, turns to like gas. It evaporates on you when you have less in there. Is that what happens?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, it's not just my imagination. All right, man. Take care. Thanks so much. See, we have experts in this audience. We solved the supply chain crisis. We're getting all kinds of tips. Yeah, so I did watch a little bit of MSNBC on YouTube, and I pulled up a piece of audio from Chris Hayes. And Chris Hayes, he's really pathetic. He's on, I forgot about Chris Hayes. He's on at 8 o'clock at night in prime time, and he keeps trying to pick fights with conservatives so that they'll go after him to give him publicity. And he was trying to pick a fight with Tucker Carlson because they're on at the same time. He figures if he can get Tucker Carlson to do a segment on him, it'll send people to him. Tucker Carlson didn't take the bait. And Chris Hayes, he did a piece last night on Bongino. He's trying to get Bongino to go after him. See, Bongino on his podcast has more people listening than Chris Hayes has watching on national television on MSNBC. So now he's going after Bongino over this thing we were talking about yesterday to try to get Bongino to talk about him. So let me play this little clip here. It's only like 45 seconds long or something. It's Chris Hayes talking about Bongino. It's rather pathetic, but I wanted to play it and then we'll analyze it a little bit. Chris Hayes, MSNBC, talking about Bongino threatening to quit radio.
Oh, well, that's a tough choice. If you do not have an uncle who shares his videos on Facebook, that is Dan Bongino.
Dan Bongino. It's Bongino. See, now this is him. He's he's desperate to get Bongino to talk about him. And so what he's doing is, if you don't know who he is, maybe you have an uncle that shares him on Facebook. What Chris Hayes is trying to do is get Bongino to respond by declaring his audience old, because it's an uncle, he has a young audience, and your older uncle who uses Facebook, which is for old people. They're getting really desperate. They've got a new executive in charge of MSNBC. So I think Chris Hayes is nervous that she is going to fire him and replace him with probably a woman of color.
Well, that's a tough choice. If you do not have an uncle who shares his videos on Facebook, that is Dan Bongino, a guy who's found a niche as one of the MAGA universe side characters.
Does he have a problem pronouncing anything? MAGA? It's MAGA. MAGA, Chris Hayes.
His videos on Facebook, that is Dan Bongino, a guy who's found a niche as one of the MAGA universe side characters, rage-filled former Secret Service agent. Now, I should tell you, that guy threatening to quit over a vaccine mandate is in fact fully vaccinated. And a part of me wants to give him credit for sticking to his principles and at the very least calling out his employer over its vaccine policy. Something that, as we've noted repeatedly, people like Tucker Carlson don't have the courage to...
See? Tucker.
But the thing is, like Tucker, Dan Bongino's also a Fox News host. And weirdly enough, he has not threatened nor said one single word about Fox's strict vaccine protocols that you either vaccinate or test daily. I guess the tough guy routine only goes so far.
Wow. There's this thing with Chris Hayes. Chris Hayes, he is so... Tucker Carlson and Bongino are never going to take the bait and talk about him. He's really desperate for a job. Now, we have the greatest governor in Florida. The greatest governor, not just the greatest governor who's currently a governor. We have the greatest governor in the history of American governors, Ron DeSantis. So there's this, the supply chain crisis is going on. We got the solution from Wisconsin Gary in the first hour. But Ron DeSantis, the great governor of Florida, last night at 7:15 tweeted this out. He gave a speech. Every day, Governor DeSantis has a press conference. He gave a speech. I know this will be offensive to liberals. In front of non-union labor truck drivers and the American flag. Oh my goodness. And he tweeted this. This is Governor Ron DeSantis last night. Florida is open for business, and Florida ports are ready to help America's supply chain backlog. My administration is showing our commitment to America's supply chain with investments and action. You hear that, Mayor Pete? Action. We have already seen ships reroute to Florida and look forward to accommodating even more. Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is like Donald Trump's clone, isn't he? Oh my goodness. He's so good. Oh yeah. But he's a bad guy to the left. They hate him. Yeah, because he, like Donald Trump, he's got solutions. And I got a question for you. Have you seen the media go to Governor Newsom for comment on this? The backlog are at the ports in his state. And no one's going to Newsom for even a comment on it. It's like they had all this publicity around him during the recall, and then now it's nothing. Oh, big announcement, and I found this out by accident yesterday. Guess what? Newsmax is back on YouTube. Newsmax is back on YouTube, and without any talk about why they were not on YouTube. I have an idea. I don't want to get into it now, but I have an idea as to why. But Newsmax is back on YouTube. And they've been off YouTube for, I don't know, like 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks. And people have been wondering, there's been a mystery, and boom, just yesterday, I put on YouTube on my TV, and right up in my recommendations was Newsmax. And I'm like, oh, that must be old. And I clicked it, and no, it was then. It was that, right? It was new. So yeah, Newsmax TV back on YouTube, people. And they are working hard to become the #1 cable news network. I really do think they can do it. They're not on as many cable outlets as the others, but there's a story here. Listen to this, CNN. They're gonna eventually beat CNN. Listen to this. This is at the Post Millennial. Brian Stelter loses in the ratings to reruns of The Golden Girls, SpongeBob, Peppa Pig, and Paw Patrol as Americans switch off fake news CNN. So, The Golden Girls went off the air like in 1990 or something, and he's losing to reruns of that? Oh, my goodness. This past week, reliable sources, that's Brian Stelter's show. My wife calls him George Costanza. She thinks he looks like George from Seinfeld. This past week, reliable sources marked its lowest rated week of the year with only 85,000 viewers in the key demo 25 to 54, according to Nielsen. This number puts reliable sources behind several cartoon repeats, including SpongeBob SquarePants, Peppa Pig, Paw Patrol, Bob's Burgers, and even reruns of 80s and 90s hits The Golden Girls and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Oh my goodness. Yeah. The Fresh Prince. I've never watched an episode of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The week numbers marks the 7th consecutive week that Brian Stelter's reliable sources failed to reach over 800,000 total viewers. They've lost to Fox News 11 a.m. counterpart Media Buzz, who received 1.473 million total viewers and 157,000 in the 25 to 54 demo. Media Buzz received 109% more in total viewers and 85% more in the key demographic. Brian Stelter's poor ratings comes after reliable sources had journalist Bari Weiss on as a guest, who took Stelter to task on media coverage of key events. This is the thing. Rush Limbaugh used to talk about this with the liberal media. The liberal media will not change anything that they're doing. They believe that what they are doing is right, and that if you're not watching them, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. It is the one business that will not change what they're doing for the consumer. Any other business will stop on a dime and change what they're doing for a customer, not the mainstream liberal media. I'm not sure about this Peppa Pig. I don't know that show. That show must have come on after my daughter grew up. But, oh my goodness, how embarrassing, how embarrassing. All right, we'll take our break. Last break of the second hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but it still was not doing the trick. So I said to you, let's get the MyPillow mattress topper, and let's see if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up, no pain, I felt incredible. It made a huge difference for me. And the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And this is an incredible deal because with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Seniors, Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080. Debbie can educate and guide you through the many different plans, choices, and cost considerations. I Will Advisors represents all major national insurance companies, not just a single carrier. Get the right coverage for you. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Saddlefoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for them.
All right, we're back. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number, and I'm in trouble. You know, all my show prep is on my iPad, and what I do is when I read an article or something I'm going to talk about, I'll tweet it. And you should follow me, by the way, on social media, on pretty much everything. Brian Craig Show. Brian Craig Show. On Twitter, you get all my, if you follow me on Twitter, you get all my show prep. And I didn't charge my iPad last night. I thought I did. It was plugged into the charger, but the charger wasn't plugged into the outlet. I don't know how it is at your house, but my wife and I, we have more chargers and cords going around the bed and the bedroom and everything else. It's crazy. And all my show prep, pretty much, well, a lot of it's in my head, but all the articles and stuff I want to talk about, they're on my iPad, and I'm down to 5%. And I was at 16% when the show started. I do have a charger plugged into the iPad, but it's not a strong enough charger. I'm using power faster than I'm charging it. So at some point in the very near future, I'm not going to be able to access all my stack of stuff on the Twitter. But that's okay. The show must go on. Now, this story here, this is just so bizarre. Student at far left college marked for being angry and scared that cisgender men installed radiators in a safe space. A student at far left Oberlin College in Ohio is being mercilessly mocked for penning an op-ed in the school newspaper, complaining of being angry and scared that cisgender men installed radiators in the author's safe space dorm designated for women and transgendered students. Now, I did not know what cisgender was. I Googled it. I'm cisgendered. I know, it sounds like sissy, but no. Cisgendered is, I'll read you the definition. Cisgendered, denoting or relating to a person whose sense of personal identity and gender corresponds with their birth sex. Okay, that's what it means. So if you live your life as the gender you were born with, you are cisgendered. I don't like them assigning that cis thing to us, but that's what it means. You need to know it just for the story. The op-ed's author, Peter Frey-Witzer, wrote that the radiator work was being done in Baldwin Cottage, which the school's website says is the home of the Women and Trans Collective, a close-knit community that provides women and transgendered persons with a safe space for discussion, communal living, and personal development. It has a capacity for 30 residents and is open to anyone who identifies as female or trans, regardless of race, nationality, religion, assigned sex, or sexual orientation. He went on to write, in general, I am very averse to people entering my personal space. This anxiety was compounded by the fact that the crew would be strangers and that they were more than likely to be cisgendered men. The author added that when work began in common areas, I could see immediately that they were all men. I was angry, I was scared, I was confused. Why didn't the college complete the installation over the summer? I mean, how dare the college expose them to heterosexual men, huh? Why didn't they do the installation over the summer when the building was empty? Why couldn't they tell us precisely when the workers would be there? Why were they only notifying us the day before installation was due to begin? I felt mildly violated and a little peeved. You know, one of the things about college is when a lot of people encounter diversity for the first time, right? They encounter different types of people. See, what the liberals have done is not only have they brought back segregation, they've brought back racial segregation. Now they've got gender segregation. There's more segregation going on by the Democrats than during the Democrat Jim Crow era. He goes on in his edit. I'm not sure if this is the right pronoun. I don't know. I couldn't help but think that though there were other dorms affected by the installation, Baldwin Cottage was one of the worst places for it to occur. There are many reasons to want to be housed in Baldwin Cottage, but many people, myself included, choose to live there for an added degree of privacy and a feeling of safety and protection. A significant portion of students choose to live there because they are victims of sexual assault or abuse, have suffered past invasions of privacy, or have some other reason to fear cisgendered men. Again, cisgender is a man born a man who lives and identifies as a man. They should have taken measures to keep students comfortable and safe, especially those who have elected to live in a specifically designated safe space. You know, this is not funny. It's sad. And I don't know this Peter guy that wrote this. I don't know if he was what his born gender was. And I've got nothing. I have nothing against transgendered people. I have been around. We used to have a sponsor here on the Steve Kane Show many years ago. That was a dinner theater that was in downtown Fort Lauderdale. It was called the Cabaret, and it was where the female impersonators worked, and they were very good. And and we used to do commercials for them. We had a guy. I remember we had this one guy who he was a chronic caller to the show. I cannot remember his name. It's been a long time. And he used to come in studio here on the Steve Kane Show with Steve and myself from time to time. I cannot remember his name, but he was a transgendered man, and he didn't live that way. This was many years ago. He didn't live that way until his wife died. And I'm not kidding when I say this. He was like Bruce Jenner. He always wanted to live that way, you know, but he didn't out of respect for his wife, and he was a senior citizen. And his wife passed away, and he started wearing her clothes. And, yeah. And he had a friend, this guy who was also transgendered, who was a retired naval senior chief petty officer. And they used to come on the show together, him wearing his wife's clothes, and he was a big Democrat. We used to have really interesting shows. You know, if somebody wants to live that way, you know, God bless them. You know, okay. But what they're doing, what's going on now is strange. You know, like, I was up all night taking my blood pressure every 10 minutes at night. So I was up all night. I was you know, I've been telling about my blood pressure has been high. I was up all night taking my blood pressure and watching YouTube videos about my blood pressure and Googling my blood pressure every time I got a reading to see what it was. And yeah, I know, it's stupid, huh? So I went to Starbucks on the way in and got some coffee. And the barista that gave me my coffee, if you go to Starbucks, they have their preferred pronouns underneath their name on their aprons. And most of the time they match up, but sometimes, especially with the masks, they're all wearing masks, it's hard to know. You know, any guys have seen this? It's very strange, you know. But they do it. That's what they do today. It's a confusing time for young people, no doubt about it. But not only that, this thing here with this guy, this is not, I know the story seems funny and there's a little fun to it, but this is really sad because not only is he living this lifestyle, he can't even be around heterosexual men. Cannot even be around heterosexual men, and there's a segregation thing. And this just isn't for transgendered people. We're seeing this a lot with ethnicities now, and you see this a lot at colleges. It's a very strange thing that's going on right now. And you know, I was talking to someone the other day about this, and things are getting so strange with all these different issues, like this one, that sometimes I feel like I don't belong. And the world today, I feel like, and maybe some of you feel this way. I feel like Austin Powers. Remember in Austin Powers, the joke of Austin Powers, he was the swinging single from the 60s and he was in the modern politically correct era. Could you imagine if they made that movie today? They wouldn't allow it to be made, but if they did, how shocking it is. I feel like I'm a man who was frozen a long time ago and thawed out and put in this strange new America that I just don't seem to fit in with this pronoun thing and preferred pronouns and cisgender. I wake up today and find out I'm cisgendered. The hell is that? I mean, it's just... Any of you guys feel like this too? It's a very strange time. All right, listen. It's time for the top of the hour break. It's 1 minute after 8. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll break and be right back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach. Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly protected from financial ruin. Learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. Learn how Medicaid can pay for your nursing home and home care expenses, and much more. This free workshop with Attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, October 26th at 2 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855-352-3782. 855-352-3782.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
Steve Kane Show.
Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but it still was not doing the trick. So I said to you, let's get the MyPillow mattress topper, and let's see if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one
I was just
night,
reading
I woke up,
an article someone just emailed me about the truck crisis. It adds on to what, I'll get into this in a few minutes. It adds something to what, some more detail to what Wisconsin Gary was talking about.
.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And this is an incredible deal because with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's Steve Kane.
You know, and I just, I just want to also say this, another thing, I'll go to the calls in a moment about the transgendered thing and the tolerance of the Steve Kane Show. Our voiceover person that does the opens and the rejoins is a transgendered person, and a very talented person with decades of experience here in the radio market. I'm not going to call them out by name. I don't know if they want to be called out by name, being associated with the show or not. But they're a transgendered person, and they do incredible work, and been doing our voiceover rejoins and everything for years and years and years. A lot of you may not know that. Well, let's take a call or two, and then we in the first hour of the program we found the solution to the supply shortage, the supply chain problem, and then I just got an email from someone, Ed Paswali. You guys remember Ed Paswali? They gave some more details on that, so we'll get into that in a bit. Good morning. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, what's your name?
So why didn't you bring that up in the transgender great person on the air?
Because I don't even think about it. I just heard the voiceover.
I'm saying though, when you
I've mentioned it on the air before, just not for a while. It's not been a secret. I've talked about it many times.
The controversial, it's a very controversial subject in this day and age that we live in.
But you called in before I played that rejoin. You were on hold before that, so that's not what you called about. Well, you're on now, so you must have something interesting to say. You called me, right?
Well, no, I don't have nothing interesting to say. I listen to your channel a lot because I hear guys that call. They want to meet you in a parking lot, or they want to meet you with a bat. And I'm going like, why do these people always have that same kind of like attitude towards you like that?
Mm-hmm. Well, why do you think?
You're only trying to spread good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Trump is good. That's true. Trump is love and goodness. That is correct.
Okay, Trump is love and goodness. Why is it?
I know. I'm waiting for you to get to your punchline. I know there's a big build-up. You think you're a troll. I know that, but I'm waiting for you to get to your punchline.
I'm not a jokester. I'm just trying to. You say Trump is good. Trump is love.
That's correct.
That's the as true. Why is our old since he went into office?
Well, maybe you've been in a coma or something, but he's not in office right now and hasn't been for 10 months.
No, but I paid to be in his college, and then I never got my money back.
Oh, really? You went? Tell me about that. You went to Trump University? Okay, where is that school? No, slow down. I want to talk to you about Trump University. Now, we're going to get to that. Listen.
Others' money that
for services?
Accredited college, but they don't.
So where I am going to answer. For me to answer it, you would have to stop talking. But everyone who doesn't stop talking, I imagine you, with your winning personality, you probably live the life of a hermit and don't interact with people very often. So regular conversation is something you're not used to. But you should have gotten your money back from Trump University. Where did you go to Trump University? Which campus did you go to?
And didn't get a dime.
No, which Trump University campus did you go to?
I'm not a hermit, and I'm. You know
I know.
Right now, what you're saying right now is being heard by many more than what you just said.
Good. That's good. We're on the radio. We want many people to listen. That's why we're broadcasting. What Trump University campus did you go to?
With somebody that you say you love, right? That is a thief.
Yeah, but what campus did you go to of Trump University?
Why are you... I'm just trying to answer the... Why would...
Well, because you're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar because you can't tell me where you went to Trump University. Well, I can smell crap. Where did you go to Trump University?
Smell crap. If you can smell crap... There, sir.
Oh, my days are always great. I don't know about yours.
When you lie to your family...
I lie to my family? What? See, now this, that guy there is so funny. Did you hear what he said? He slipped and said something about he paid to go to an accredited college. He didn't get his money back. This guy is so wrapped up in his Trump derangement syndrome, he actually, obviously he didn't go to Trump University. He actually thinks that Trump University is like a real institution of higher learning, that was a real school with a school building where people went and signed up for credits and took classes. He's not aware that it was like weekend seminars at the Hilton at the airport or something. Oh my goodness. It's very difficult for liberals. It really is. And Trump is so good, so great, so wonderful, and so perfect that to criticize him, they have to make things up. As you can hear with that caller. But this is the thing about the Trump University people that want a refund. I remember when Trump University was advertising on the radio, and they were running commercials on all of the radio stations, and I called up Trump University, and I got the price over the phone, and it was $30-something. I was like, oh, that's beyond my budget. But when you go to Trump University is not a real university, okay? The guy thinks it's a real school. But when you go to a regular college, you are not guaranteed employment. How many lawyers have gone to law school and haven't passed the bar? Does the law school owe them their money back because they didn't pass the bar and didn't make it as a lawyer? Or if you go to college, most people I know that are college graduates work in fields other than what they have a degree in. I know people who do, but most people don't. So if you work in a field that you don't have a college degree in, there's usually there's multiple reasons why, maybe endless reasons why that is. But does the school owe you money? Do they owe you your money back because you are not working in the field that you've been given a degree in? Or you weren't a success in it? Of course not. It's ridiculous. And anyone who went to Trump University, they knew what they were getting into. I remember, any of you remember the Trump University ads on the radio? I used to hear them all over the place. And when I called and got the price, they were very forthcoming with me. I found out like it took me 10 seconds. You know, just because you go to a school doesn't mean the school owes you a career. But so far as the last caller, you know, liberals, the Trump derangement syndrome is not new with Trump. Liberals have always had a mental disorder like Michael Savage talks about. And most of the time, you know, if you hear what the liberal callers like that guy, you know, first he tried to pretend to be a MAGA guy. Then it wasn't hard to figure out. You don't have to be me to figure that out. I'm sure most of you figured out right out of the box he was a liberal. But when it comes to criticism of Donald Trump, most of it is manufactured, just like this January 6th hearing. President Trump had nothing to do with that Capitol breach. And I'm not the only one who believes that. The FBI cleared him in that. The FBI investigation cleared Donald Trump of any involvement in the Capitol breach. That doesn't stop them from having the fake show hearing. See, because the House hearing is not a court of law, they don't have those standards, and they can grandstand, and members of Congress are totally immune from the slander laws of our country, so they can go up there without any accountability you would have in a courtroom, without any concern of slander being, you know, and just lie about President Trump and this Capitol breach and blame him for it each and every day. And that's what this whole thing with Bannon is about. They want to get Bannon up there so they can scream and yell at him, and he's not going to answer any of their questions, but they're going to declare that he was responsible, he was connected, that means Trump was. You know, Bannon, how long was Bannon out of the White House by that time? Like a couple years. All right, let's take our first break of the third hour. My name's Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Now, on Friday, we welcomed a new sponsor to the Steve Kane Show, AJ's Naturals. AJ Natural is our vitamin and wellness nutraceutical shop, and AJ's Natural is located in the Festival Marketplace over there in Pompano. Now, on Friday, we spoke with Janet Cimarelli, who Steve and I have known since 1998. And in AJ's Natural, Janet is the J. Now, the A is Anita, and we have Anita, Steve, on the line today from AJ's Natural with the nutraceutical message for today. Anita, welcome to the program.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Steve. How are you?
How are you doing?
Very good. I was wondering if you guys had seen the article over the weekend about the Canadian dollar store chain called Dollarama. They had gotten busted for selling hand sanitizer full of graphene oxide, a known carcinogen.
Oh, my.
Oh, my gosh.
And, you know, considering that we are dousing ourselves with hand sanitizer the last year and a half, and everywhere you go you see all these off-brands popping up, you have to really be careful about what you're putting on your body all the time. Our skin absorbs everything, so it's just as important as what you put in your body. I want your listeners to know that at AJ's, of course, we carry graphene oxide-free hand sanitizers. We have paraben-free shampoos and body washes, because that's also a carcinogen found in a lot of the products on the regular shelves. And we have fluoride-free toothpaste. And that's the most important to me, because I don't know if you guys know, back in the 1990s, there was a study showing that excessive fluoride in the water leads to deposits in the pineal glands, the breast tissue, and the heart, calcifies and can lead to all kinds of organ issues. Not to mention, fluoride makes us docile.
Yeah.
So, of course, at AJ's, we carry all these clean products for our customers and your listeners. And most importantly, we have Janet Cimarelli there giving free consultations.
We've been in business with Janet Cimarelli over a 20-year period. She was one of the first sponsors we had.
Janet introduced both Steve and myself to nutraceuticals. Now, AJ's Natural, they have two other things, Anita, over there. It's your store, so you'll know when I say, first off, all the nutraceuticals that you know and love, they have at AJ's Natural in the Festival Marketplace. And the other thing...
The lowest prices.
Well, that's the other thing. The prices over there on the shelves, I mean, are so low, it will blow your mind away.
Now it's higher.
AJ's Natural in the Festival Marketplace.
I got a doctor's appointment when I get off the air.
Food court at the Festival Marketplace. And for those of you that don't know, the Festival Marketplace is immediately east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road in Pompano. All right, Anita, good talking to you today. Give Janet our best, and we'll talk to either you or Janet tomorrow.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, you know, I've been doing something really stupid today. I mean, I was talking. You know, you've heard me mention a few times my blood pressure has been high, and during yesterday's show, I was having a lot of anxiety over my blood pressure. And when you get worried about your blood pressure, that of course causes it to go even higher. And I took my blood pressure when I got off the air yesterday, and it was really sky high through the roof for me. I'm not going to tell you what the numbers are because I don't need to hear everyone's opinion on the numbers. And I do have a doctor's appointment with a new doctor today when I get off the air. But I've been worried about my blood pressure a lot the last few days. Yesterday in particular, because I had something happen. And what I've been doing today, which I should not be doing, is I brought my blood pressure machine with me to the studio, and I've been taking my blood pressure throughout the show, which I really should not have been doing. I really should not have been doing, and I just took it, and it's, you know, got to do some meditation here, but I've got 40 minutes to go until I can meditate. I could do it here on the air. I could do all that, but I don't think you guys would want to hear that. All right, now if you were listening to the first hour of the program, and this is true, we've been asking ourselves, and I know you guys have, why is there a supply chain crisis? Why is there a supply chain crisis? And Wisconsin Gary, who's a truck driver, called in. And he shared information that I did not know. I asked him about it. I said, you know, the news, they're blaming you guys. They're blaming truck drivers. There aren't enough of you. And he said the problem is California only allows unionized truck drivers. And if you're an independent trucker like he is, I guess he owns his truck and all that, they don't want you in California. And if you take a load into California, when you go into one of the weigh stations, if you're not a union guy, they start harassing you because they want you out of California. And Ed Pasquale emailed me an article that gives some more detail on this that I thought I'd share. This is all about the supply chain crisis. The news says that the California port situation is caused by a driver shortage. Not so fast. It is in part by a California truck ban, which says all trucks in California must be 2011 or newer, and a law called AB 5, which prohibits owner-operators. You can't be an independent trucker in California. You got to be a union man. Traditionally, the ports have been served by owner-operators, non-union. California has now banned owner-operators. Long-term truckers in California are not investing in new trucks because California has a law that makes them illegal in 2035. The requirement in California is to purchase electric trucks which do not yet exist. This is nuts. Business Car to begin blocking certain trucks and DMV registrations in 2020 carriers in California with trucks older than 2011 models or using engines manufactured before 2010 will need to meet the board's new truck and bus regulation beginning in 2020, or their vehicles will be blocked from registration with the state's DMV, California has said. The new health-based requirements will need to be met
before a driver is allowed to register his or her truck through the Department of Motor Vehicles in California. It's CARB says, I'm not sure, California something, a new enforcement tool used by the DMV will automatically block trucks 2010 and older from registration. So the supply chain crisis, and this is not a joke. This supply chain crisis is serious, and it's going to be hitting people hard. And what we're finding out is that the entire supply chain crisis is being hearing Newsom. I was wondering, why aren't we here? Why do they never go to Newsom? DeSantis is talking about it all the time, but the main crisis is out at the California ports. It's because Newsom has put these laws in place that have caused this. You know, liberalism and the ideas that Democrats have sound great in a college classroom with everyone who agrees, but when they go into practicality, it doesn't work. And in the supply chain crisis that's going to result in people losing their businesses over the Christmas holiday season, it's causing people to really have some family budget problems because it's causing prices to go up, is being caused 100% by the Democrats of California and the unions and their ridiculous regulations. And this supply chain crisis could end and be solved overnight if at least during the time of crisis they would say, we are lifting the regulations. All independent truckers nationwide are welcome in California to get us out of this crisis. But you know what? The media, now I know this from talking to Gary, and then Ed Pasquale sent me this article that had a little more detail on it. If I know this, everyone in media knows this. And I watched 2 or 3 panel discussions on Fox News yesterday. One of them was with Harris Faulkner. I didn't hear any of them bring these specifics up. Do they not know? Of course they know. Of course they know. Why aren't they going with this? Newsom could end this overnight. And you know what? So could Biden and so could Mayor Pete. But because they're so in bed with the unions, it's got to be union labor. Union labor or no labor. And even if they lifted the ban temporarily through the crisis, it's going to back up again because they have this situation. What's going on right now in California, it's much like the fall of the Berlin Wall and the Soviet Union's fall. I know the Berlin Wall in Germany, I understand, but the fall of the Soviet Union resulted after that. And this shipping crisis, the reason it's not being properly reported on in the mainstream media is because it's a failure of the modern, not just the Democrat Party, but modern liberalism. It's a major failure. And this supply chain crisis, if this was properly reported on, would be the Berlin Wall moment for the Democrats and liberalism today. You know, like one of the things holding up this bill from Manchin is the green crap that's in it. And he won't support any of that. This is why. Look what it does. Look what it's doing. So, you know, and until people start reporting on this, it's not going to be solved, because if people aren't reporting on this nationally and the conservatives nationally are not getting into the real problem in California, there's not a trucker shortage at all. Because I was wondering, all of a sudden we have a trucker shortage? It's not a trucker shortage. There's a shortage of union truckers. That's the problem. It's the unions again. And, you know, I know they got their 40-hour work week and all that business 100 years ago, and that's cool, but the only thing that comes out of them now are things like this, disaster. And, you know, with the inaction of the government we have in place right now, we're just going to have to sit and suffer. Now, yesterday, Jen Psaki, this is her at the press briefing yesterday, talking about the shipping supply chain crisis.
Just a question on the timing on the supply chain issue.
Yeah.
Actions that the president has taken. It was clear in March of 2020, when COVID hit, that the supply chains across the world have been disrupted. Even as the sort of work to fight back against COVID proceeded, it was crystal clear that things were not improving on supply chain. People couldn't get dishwashers and furniture and treadmills delivered on time, not to mention all sorts of other things. So why is
the tragedy of the treadmill that's delayed?
Right,
the tragedy of the treadmill that's delayed. She says, and with all the tragedy of the treadmill is delayed, like it's no big deal. It's a big deal if you sell treadmills, and that's your business. Hey, this is the problem. You know, when Kennedy was president, the Democrats have changed so much. The people in his cabinet were from major corporations. They were the heads of major corporations, many of them, who came to work for him. These are college professors and lifelong government workers who have never worked in a private company, never run a company, and have never worried about their next paycheck or having enough money at the end of the month. And they have no idea. They have no idea what the real world is like. You know, this supply chain crisis and this little thing we uncovered today about what's really going on out there. I watched 2 shows with Harris Faulkner yesterday, and they were talking about a truck driver shortage. There's not a truck driver shortage. That's a lie. There's a unionized truck driver shortage. I mean, think about it. I would imagine that truck drivers could make a lot of money, independent truckers they would love to go to California. And Gary said, this is amazing, he won't drive into California. He says as an independent driver, an owner-operator, owns his own truck, if he drives into California, what they do is they're like crooked cops. You got to go to the weigh station, and then they start nitpicking, and they write you up with every little tiny thing they can find. And then they blacklist you where you're not allowed to drive in California. I understand, you know, when I was younger and I was liberal, a lot of these things made sense to me because I was like AOC. I hadn't thought them through. I didn't understand. You know, and liberals have this vision of a liberal utopian society where everything would be perfect and wonderful if we only would do what they want us to do. And time again, you find out that liberalism just does not work. Good morning. Good morning. There you go. The liberal response. It's time for a break anyway. Let me take our break. It's 8:30 in the morning. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
Attention seniors, have you protected you and your family from financial ruin? You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Medicaid planning workshop. Make sure you and your family are properly protected from financial ruin. Learn how planning ahead can protect you from running out of money before you run out of life. Learn how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. Learn how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. Learn how Medicaid can pay for your nursing home and home care expenses, and much more. This free workshop with Attorney Barry Siegel is Tuesday, October 26th at 2 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray. Seating is limited, so reserve your seat for this free estate planning workshop. Call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE. That's 855
Steve Kane Show.
352-3782.
Hold on.
855-352-3782.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. 80.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca
Steve Kane Show.
Foot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south
They
of
do.
Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Yeah, no matter where you are in Florida, call Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. From the Panhandle to Key West, his number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-939-1500. Save money on your electric bill. That's a big expense in Florida, isn't it? 954-939-1500. All right, back to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E, and the number 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. Jeff, you're on the air.
Oh, hey, Brian. Good morning. What you were talking about, the Democrat utopia, which is, we all know, communism, once you relinquish any rights, you'll never get them back, and they're chipping away at our rights.
Oh, we saw that. Well, you know, last year when the shutdowns and lockdowns happened, I talked about it then. Once the government takes something from you, they don't give it back.
That's right. Coast of America, you know, don't you think this is just part of Biden and the leftist plan? It's a control thing.
No, I just don't think they care. I just don't think they can be bothered. I think their biggest concern is getting this bill passed for the donors to get their payback. That's all they care about. And whatever, you know, they don't care. They just don't care. You know, like Buttigieg went on 2 TV interviews and he's done. Back home with the babies, right? You know, he should have been out in California at the ports, meeting with them in person and dealing with it. But he can't be bothered. Biden doesn't care either. Jen Psaki, I mean, they're trying to sell us that this is a good thing. A good thing. I mean, you know, that it means that people are out there buying things up, and that all of a sudden, you know, that it's a good thing for the economy that there's a supply shortage. And maybe everyone else knew about this but me. But until Wisconsin Gary called in the first hour and said there's no trucker shortage, they just only allow union truckers in California, I had no idea. And this supply chain crisis story has been in the news for over a week, and I haven't heard anyone point that out in the media till Gary called in this morning.
That's true. You don't hear anything on the mainstream news media. Well, they're not going to tell us the truth anyway.
Well, it's interesting because they keep blaming, they keep saying there are not enough truckers. There are not enough truckers. I hear that constantly, but that's not the case. They only allow union drivers in California. That's the problem. There aren't enough union drivers.
And that's true because the independents are the ones that really push the product around America.
Well, you know, the thing about people don't like unions because they take money from you. Every time you get paid, they take a chunk of your money. You're already paying all kinds of other expenses. Who wants to pay a union? There's no need for it. So this whole crisis is being caused by the union, and maybe Fox News is not aware of this problem. Maybe I got to get Wisconsin Gary to call a producer over at Fox News and get a hold of them and explain to them what he explained to me this morning. Because I watched 3 panel shows yesterday, and they kept saying there's a driver shortage, They're even talking about, I read an article I think on Monday, that Breitbart was talking about a high school that's teaching high school students how to drive 18-wheelers. And that there's such a shortage. There is no shortage. We probably have more truckers than we need. They're just not unionized. I mean, at least it should be lifted during this crisis.
I think it was on Newsmax. They were showing these videotapes of people showing lines of trucks near the ports, lined up to transport stuff, and it's all a lie. The media's not showing all the truckers that are available to do everything that needed to be done.
Well, part of the problem with the news, the TV news, it's not like the old days. Even when CNN was new, they don't leave their studios. They're all in there, all groomed. They got, and the body oils on. They don't leave. No, why don't they send one of their reporters out to a truck stop and talk to truckers? But they want to sit around. They want to sit around and have panel discussions with people that go from their high-rise apartment to the studio and back every day by limousine that don't know what the hell's going on. They don't talk to, that one cool thing about talk radio. Talk radio is like a modern-day town square where you get to talk. Like where are you calling me from, Jeff? Maine, right? Yeah, you're in Maine. Wisconsin Gary is from Wisconsin on the road in his 18-wheeler, to Minnesota this morning when he called. We're talking to people that are out in the real world that that know what's going on, as opposed to talking to some pundit sitting across the couch from me. I mean, what the hell? I mean, Hannity had Meghan McCain on. What the hell does she know other than to use her daddy's name to get things in life? She doesn't know anything about anything. And Fox News is about to, I'm telling you, Fox News is trying to hire Meghan McCain. That's crazy. She yeah.
Going out sending the reporters out there, and they're containing everything in their in their newsrooms. They can control everything that they want to put out there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want people out there in the street. It doesn't match what they're saying.
Exactly. It doesn't match the narrative. Hey, Jeff from Maine, take care. Thanks for calling. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Good morning. Yes, you're on the air.
Yeah. Hi. I was wondering if anybody ever really forgot the days whenever, like, the mafia or gangs go into establishments and says, I'll give you money for protection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and Joe Biden's a union man. Joe Biden, and I don't say that, I'm not trying to be outrageous here. It's like having Al Capone as president. He's a corrupt public official, and that's it.
My dad has always been part of a union, and he's always been after me. And I'm telling him, I'm not going to pay somebody to fight my fight. I can fight my own battle.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen. Like many things, there was a time. Unions came around because when America was electrified and the light bulbs were around, the factories could go at night. Right? People could work at night all of a sudden, so hours got longer. And the unions came and did some things that were needed maybe 110 years ago. But they destroyed the economy. This supply chain crisis, every aspect of it is the fault of the union, which is the Democrats, right? Everything's coming from China because the unions put all the manufacturing jobs in China. Now we're finding out the unions are destroying the supply chain that we have intact here because you can only be a unionized truck driver in California. So, everything that we're dealing with involving the supply chain crisis, both sides of it fall to the union, which is the Democrats.
Yes. All I can say is that I was born in California, and I'm ashamed of California.
Well, my daughter was just in California. She visited California. She went to Los Angeles a week or so ago. And it was her first time in California, and she loves California. She loves California. It's one thing when you're visiting, but if she were living out there and had to pay rent and buy gas and buy food,
it'd be a whole nother thing. She has no idea.
In Texas and not there.
Well, I'll tell you, California is so bad. This is a true story. My daughter got a ticket to California. Do you know how much it was each way from Florida to California? How much each way?
Probably about 900 to 1,000.
$45 each way.
$5 each way.
Mm-hmm. No one wants to go to California. You got to buy a round trip at $45.
It used to be so much more.
Well, nobody wants to fly there now.
Well, yeah.
$45. She got a ticket to California, $45. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding you. Yeah. I know. Who wants to go to California? You can't even get a U-Haul. You know, you can't rent a U-Haul in California. They're all gone.
Everybody's leaving.
I'm serious. I'm not joking. Try to rent anybody in California that's listening, try to get a U-Haul today. I can get many U-Hauls right now down the street. Not in California, and they probably all have California plates on them.
Moving. Yeah, he lives in California, and he was trying to get moved from one place to another, and he actually had a rig because there were no U-Hauls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, listen, take care. Thanks for calling. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, Brian.
Augustino, how you doing?
Yeah, I tell you what, I got a guy out here cutting our lawn for $50. Anyway, I gotta tell you, you had a caller a while ago, and you better watch your blood pressure, son. I'm sorry, but, your blood pressure went up.
It did. It did indeed.
The university or some junk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guarantee your blood pressure went up.
Oh yeah, my blood pressure goes up. I shouldn't be taking it during the show. That's stupid. It's stupid. I'm standing here. I'm drinking espresso. I'm stressed out with our liberal trolls, and I'm taking my blood pressure. I mean, that's just stupid. I'm asking for trouble.
Oh man. Well, hey, I gotta ask you and Steve a question.
No, we do not have Andrea's phone number to give you.
Okay, well
that wasn't the question, or was it the question?
No, that's not the question. The question is this: when you guys go on this trip that you're going on a boat,
the Steve Kane Trump 2022 MAGA cruise in January, absolutely yes.
Your show is during the...
Well, it's the one time I get to take a vacation is on our cruise, and we didn't get to go last year because of COVID. So it's been 2 years. It's been over 2 years since our last cruise, and we run best of programs. But I will be on YouTube every day on the cruise. If you guys follow me on YouTube, you can watch me on the cruise with Steve and our MAGA friends on YouTube.
Will actually get to Steve?
That's correct. Yes. Yeah, and now we may not be sober. We may not be sober because the drinks are included on our cruise. The drinks are included. Yeah. So I try everything. Yeah. You can be one of our stowaways watching us on YouTube.
This is my last question to you. I love your videos of you traveling around.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Are incredible.
I think I make very good videos when I travel places. I do.
Thank you. You're Ron DeSantis, your governor, for telling the ship to come from California to come over this side.
That's right. Hey, listen, Augustina, you have a great day, all right? Take care. Thanks for calling. All right, let's take our break. We'll be back with the Gold Report right after this.
Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience.
I don't know if Augustino is sober or not.
Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but it still was not doing the trick, so I said to you, let's get the My Pillow mattress topper, and let's see if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up, no pain, I felt incredible, it made a huge
Mm-hmm. I think he's tanked. Yeah, he's tanked. He's tanked. That was what she said. He said he sounds like Augustino's had too much of the sauce.
At checkout, Kane. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code Kane.
Yeah, I've got to do more of those.
At mypillow.com.
I got to do more of those. All right, now guys, William Youngerman will be returning with the professional morning gold and precious metals report next week, and today you'll still have me though with the amateur gold report. But I'll tell you, it's looking mighty good today. I'm looking at the metals right now. Gold is up $20.41 at $1,793.47. Silver is up 51 cents. That's making a move at $24.25. Platinum, that's up $8.63 at $1,059.92. Palladium down a little bit at $8.44 at $2,119.75. Now, William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. 150 East Palmetto Park Road is the address. They don't just sell the metals, they also buy them. And anything you have that is made of the metals, stop in and get a free appraisal. And if you're out of town and you can't make it in person, give them a call. They'll be able to help you even if you're out of town and in another state. All right, so you give them a call and they'll gladly help you. I came across something over the weekend, and I went in to William Youngerman on Monday and got an appraisal of something that I didn't think was going to be worth anything, really, and was pleasantly surprised. I'll talk more about that with William Youngerman when he returns, but they open weekdays at 10 a.m. You can find them online at williamyoungerman.com and give them a call. I'm serious. If you are looking to buy, also you want to deal with William Youngerman. It will definitely, no matter where you are, they can ship to you nationwide. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Again, williamyoungerman.com on the web. All right. Steve will be back with us tomorrow, by the way, taking the day off. But Steve will be back with us tomorrow, and I'm here with you every day. I only get the time off when we take our cruises. But it's hard for me to take a day off because I wake up so early anyway. I'll be up. Why bother taking off, right? Now, Terry McAuliffe in Virginia. I don't know what's going on with this guy. A lot of you may not remember, Terry McAuliffe used to be a big deal. He was the head of the DNC when Bill Clinton was president. And he was also in charge of the fundraising for the Democrat Party. And when he was governor the first time, it was kind of, I assumed at the time, just handed to him for all of the good work he did for the Democrat Party. And he's a lot like Biden. He seems to kind of be out of his mind a little bit, because I remember Terry McAuliffe during the Clinton era, and he's a different person today. He's become a crotchety old coot. And he was doing this interview, and he walked out of this interview. Let me play the clip, then we'll talk about it just for a moment. Steve Kane Show.
Education job.
Hey, Neil.
All right, we're over. That's it. Hey, I gave you extra time. Come on, man. You should have asked better questions early on. You should have asked questions your viewers care about. Well, we did.
Yeah, so I'm a little confused with Bannon. What I don't know about Bannon, I'm sorry, not Bannon, McAuliffe. I'm confused myself, okay, but I know I'm confused, obviously. I'm confused about McAuliffe. Because I've been watching him in the last few days, because now things are getting heated up out there. And this crotchety, screw you attitude that he gave to the reporter, I mean, you look at what he's doing. I'm wondering, is he just arrogant and feels he's going to walk into the job, Terry McAuliffe? Or is he just a clumsy old coot who's not what he used to be in his younger days and is just screwing everything up?
Because, you know, this really, if you think about it, when he said last week that parents shouldn't have a role in their child's education in the school, what is that's insanity. He was questioned by a reporter walking out of an event, and he confronted the guy and got nasty with him. A couple days ago I played the clip. And now walking out of this interview with the local news in the state, it's just the way he's running his campaign is very strange. He's either arrogant and feels he'll walk into it, or he's just lost his mind and is kind of senile and has some dementia. Because this is not the... Now, maybe Terry McAuliffe was always this way, but that's not the Terry McAuliffe I remember. I don't know if you guys remember what he used to be like, but he used to be a lot quicker and would take people on, and it's just the way he's acting is not himself. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want the job. You know, it kind of, yeah, maybe he's a drinker. And if you want, that video was quite extensive. I just played the end of it. It went on for quite a while. I can't play the whole thing. Maybe he's drinking. You know, maybe he's got a problem with the sauce. You know, I don't know. Something's going on there. What it is, I don't know. But I know Virginia's in a sad state of affairs these days. All right, now it's time for the health report, and of course, that's what we do every time of the every show at this time of day. We're going to check in from AJ's Natural, Anita from AJ's Natural in the Festival Marketplace. Anita, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today, Brian?
Doing all right. What do you have for us from AJ's Natural today?
Well, before I tell you about that, I find it interesting you were just talking about the school board meetings, because
yeah,
it's the Palm Beach County school board meeting from 5 to 9. So they usually don't let us parents know, but I saw on the website today. So at 3300 Forest Hill Boulevard is the school district of Palm Beach County school board meeting tonight from 5 to 9.
Oh.
Concerned about your kids' health and well-being in the schools, you can go there and let everybody know about it. And if you're concerned about their health and well-being on a physical level, you can come see us at AJ's, because we have supplements there, multis, probiotics, and immune boosters for the children as well as adults. Great prices.
Well, and be careful at the school board meeting, because the Attorney General says parents at school board meetings that take issue with the school board are domestic terrorists, so you got to be careful. But you know, AJ's Natural, Anita and Janet Cimarelli are partners over there, and Janet Cimarelli did the original health report on the Steve Kane Show when we first started talking about nutraceuticals back in 1998. And Janet Cimarelli from AJ's Natural at the Festival Marketplace introduced Steve and myself to nutraceuticals, and I've been taking them ever since, because I was raised, Anita, my mother, very good job, but she always told me I don't believe in vitamins. A lot of people say that, I don't believe in vitamins, and I'm here to tell you, I take a lot of nutraceuticals. My nightstand is a nutraceutical place, and I've yet to take a nutraceutical that didn't do what it claimed to do, but no side effects. And it's really a life changer for me when I was introduced to nutraceuticals. Now, AJ's Natural at the Festival Marketplace. The Festival Marketplace, formerly known as the Festival Flea Market, everybody knows where that is, immediately east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road. And what you have over there, Anita, is an incredible vitamin shop with incredibly low prices. And you have the nutraceuticals and supplements that everyone's looking for, no matter what supplements they take. And if you don't have something, you can get it.
That's true. And, you know, in regard to those people that don't believe in vitamins, I've worked side by side with Janet for over 20 years, and I've had so many people come back and tell me how their pain has eased, or how their digestion is better, or how they just feel better in general. And I see those results from those customers. So I like knowing that I'm helping people, and maybe some people, it's mind over matter and the vitamins don't work for them. But there are so many people that are grateful for Janet's knowledge. So if they want to call and get a free appointment with Janet, they can call the store, 954-317-1851. We're open 10 to 5, Monday through Friday, and 10 to 6, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, and Janet Cimarelli, she's a licensed nutritionist, and what she'll do is she'll sit down with you with a consultation, and you'll talk with Janet,
and she'll tell you the supplements that you're looking for whatever ails you that you've come in for. Now, AJ's Natural in the Festival Marketplace is located right across from the food court, so you can't miss it. Now, if you can't make it in, if you're out of town or another part of town, you can't make it in for whatever reason, give them a call, and they can ship to you. So let me give out the number again. It's 954-317-1851. And AJ's Natural have a radio show on our radio station on Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m., so catch that too. All right, Anita, take care, and we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care, take care. All right, I got time for 1 or 2 calls, so let's go. Good morning, you're on the radio. Good morning. Yeah, you're on the air. Yeah.
I'm not sauce.
Oh, this is Augie. You're not on the sauce?
No, of course not.
Okay.
I just wanted you to know that.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm glad you're not intoxicated. This is just your normal self.
No, I'm just drinking my Starbucks coffee and listening to you.
Oh, really? You're drinking Starbucks, Augie? What Starbucks coffee are you drinking? Tell me the truth. Come on.
I drink the vanilla with the mocha,
Vanilla mocha? Okay, okay. All right, okay. All right, he's telling the truth. All right, take care, man. Take care. Good morning. Last call of the day. Good morning.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, you're on the air. You just have less than a minute.
From California. CARB, C-A-R-B, is California Air Resources Board. Essentially, they're the EPA of California, which unfortunately is making policy to the EPA rather than the other way around. It's consistent of 12 members, pretty much largely appointed by the governor.
Well, we don't have time to get into all of that, but we did uncover the problem that they only allow union truck drivers in California, and that's the problem. There's not enough...
Yeah, your sister value, I have no idea that they even did that. How stupid can they be?
Well, that's Skinny Pants Newsom.
Anyways, have a good day.
All right, take care. Last call of the day from California. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Steve will be back with us. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, 6 a.m.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, guys. Hey, listen. Thanks for watching. And I got to take off and go to my doctor's appointment. All right? So if you're new here, though, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, before you go, like the video, okay? That helps me out a lot. When you like the video, it tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video to other people that like this kind of content. So that's always a good thing. I've got this ancient charger. It got me through. I'm down to 3% on my iPad. I started the show at 17%. The charger is hot as hell, though, I'll tell you. Hot as hell. Let me take my BP one more time. I'll take it in my right arm this time. Let's see. Could be better. I'm going to try the other arm. I know this is not the ideal way to take the BP, but, you know, what am I going to do? A little high there. A little high. Yeah, here's the machine. Yeah, it'll be taken care of today. All right. Well, the reason I want to see what it is after I start the medication later today. All right, guys, I'm going to take off, but I'll see you all later, all right? Take care. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like the video, okay?